Ashton Jeanty is the greatest running back in college football history, but somehow he didn't win Heisman. To figure out how this happened, we have to go back to 2022, which was Ashton Jeanty's freshman year at Boise State. He put up solid numbers with 821 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 5.3 yards per carry. At this point, Jeanty is the number 2 running back, but his numbers, and especially his efficiency, prove that he was the man for the job next year. And in 2023, he took over as that starting job, but still didn't get a whole bunch of reps. He finished the year with a total of 1,347 yards, 14 touchdowns, and an impressive 6.1 yards per carry, while having his best receiving year with 569 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. Then comes 2024, and Ashton Jeanty starts off the year with an absolute bang against Georgia Southern, rushing for 267 yards with a staggering 6 touchdowns and 13.4 yards per carry. This was extremely impressive, but many people didn't think too much of it since it was against a low D1 school. But the next game was Jeanty's real shot at proving the haters wrong against number 7 in the country, Oregon. And he did just that with 192 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns with 7.7 yards per carry. But Boise State ended up losing 37-34, but proving that they can compete with one of the best teams in the nation. Next week against Portland State, Jeanty had a bit of a down week. After only getting 11 carries, he ran for 127 yards, but Boise State blew them out and finally broke the top 25, being ranked at number 25. And it just kept on going better from there. Washington State was an easy game, with Jeanty running for a solid 259 yards and 4 touchdowns, moving Boise State to number 21 in the nation. Then came Utah State, which was a 62-30 blowout win, with 186 yards and 3 touchdowns for Jeanty. Hawaii was a similar story, with 217 yards and a touchdown for Ashton Jeanty. Then came one of the hardest competitions yet for Boise State, and that was UNLV. But Jeanty proved to be clutch with 128 yards and a touchdown to lead his team to a 29-24 win. And after another great performance against San Diego State, Boise State hit that number 12 seed, meaning if the season ended right then, they would be in the playoffs. But it didn't, so they still had to work very hard to secure their spot. The next 4 games were all basically the same thing, with 4 more wins and a total of 763 yards and 8 touchdowns for Jeanty, giving Boise State the 10 seed and a spot in the Mountain West Conference Finals. A rematch of one of Boise State's closest games all year against UNLV. Now UNLV was ready for payback, and they were the number 20 seed. With both teams fighting for a spot in the college football playoffs, tensions were high. And again, Ashton Jeanty did not disappoint, running for 209 yards and a touchdown to complete an historic regular season and clinch a bye in the first round of the playoffs for Boise State. Ashton Jeanty's final season stats were 2,497 yards and 29 touchdowns, making him number 4 for all-time rushing yards and number 7 for all-time rushing touchdowns. And more importantly, Ashton Jeanty led his team to the playoffs, which is something Heisman winner Travis Hunter couldn't do. Make sure you comment down below who you think should have won the Heisman. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the 2 and 6 podcast.